Happy Friday! For those that watched the video last night, there it is. I did make the form. I will be recording videos. I don't know if I'll be doing it today. I will get it done this weekend. It will be up on Monday. So I had a couple of meetings yesterday. One was almost 2 hours, well over 90 minutes. It's close to 2 hours. I'm not really sure exactly how long. I'm trying to get in the habit of having my phone ready to record these 1 minute short videos for YouTube. I'm trying to change some habits, guys. So my first meeting was was with a supplier and what we plan to accomplish over the next month to 60 days. We do these planning meetings. Him and I sit down. We like to sit down face to face. Usually he'll come to Vegas or I'll fly out to where he is. We try to do it at least once a quarter face to face. We normally talk at least once a week on the phone just to get an idea of where we are in the progress of what we're doing together. We like good steakhouses. We usually go sit down at a good steakhouse and have a nice meal while we're chatting. The pandemic has really changed things. He doesn't get out to Vegas as much for conventions. Traveling has become complicated, so there's issues, guys, with the traveling. I'm not getting into politics, but I feel like I don't know where I stand personally with the vaccine. I'll probably get it. Hell, the military shot me with a freaking air dart, one in each arm, before I went to Germany. So I lived through that. The meeting went really well. There's really nothing that I can talk about without giving away some of my trade secrets or things that I plan to do in the near future. What I can tell you is it's the relationship that I have with the owner of the company that allows me to do these things more than my personality or skills. I'm not the best at what I do. I am by far probably I'm not even the top 1,000 probably. There's people much smarter than me doing this Amazon thing. Listen, when it started, I was good. I was probably in the top 100 because the internet was new and everything was new, and a shotgun approach, mass quantity was a great way to get out in front of people cheaply, especially on platforms like eBay. eBay, you could launch auctions for pennies. And for a long time, they were free. If you started your auction at 99 cents, it was free. So I ran a lot of 99-cent auctions with $6.99 shipping and handling for something that took a stamp. This is back before tracking numbers. This was back before you had to have it in the customer's hands within 24 hours and all the crazy nonsense that we go through now to sell online. So the meeting was really good, but what I want you to take away from it is that the relationship I have secures my future more than my ability and skills. It's easier to do business with a friend, much easier to do business with a friend. We talk about our kids. I talk about my grandkids with them. We talk about politics. We both have the same view for the most part about politics. We say a blessing before the meal. We're just we're a really good fit, and it works well. And people don't think about that a lot of times in business. It's not always about the money. Sometimes you just like to do business with somebody, to do business with them because you enjoy the person. It may not always be the most profitable path, but it's enjoyable. It has to be profitable for everybody. Doesn't work. Friends is one thing, but business friends or business partners has to be profitable. There has to be money to be made. Guys, I have a little bit of a tickle this morning, a little sinus, postnasal drip, I guess it's called. I don't know what it is. My nose is running a little bit. Please forgive me. I really, really enjoy the relationships that I have built in business. When you start in business, it's about money. It really is. You got to have money to survive. The one thing I'm learning as I get older, you need less money as you get older. I drive a Lincoln Continental. It is one of my first new cars since the Infinities. I had 3 Infinities, so I guess it's not like I haven't had new cars. This is the first car I've owned. I usually lease these luxury cars. I'm proud to say that I was able to buy this car. And I put a lot of money down so that I'm always in an equity position in the car. That's just what I did. But I enjoy it. I'm happy I have it. But honestly, I really don't need it. Did I need a car? Yes. But the Honda CR-V was okay. I mean, it was a nice car. It only had 2,000 miles on it when I bought it. I could have kept that. I chose to do something different. That was my choice. But as I get older, I don't need the money from my business. I don't have to go out and make another $1,000 this week. My business has an income. So in the beginning of the business, I had to make money. The business needed money. I was watching a thing yesterday. We were talking about Tesla. And sure, Tesla turned a profit. But did it? The profit doesn't pay a dividend on the stock because they're not a mature company that is now profitable. Sure, Tesla made a profit, but they need that money to continue building that company. There will come a point in time in Tesla's history where they can start paying a dividend, where they don't need the money to grow. Jeff Bezos with Amazon for 25 years has not paid a dividend. They have rolled all the profit back into the company to grow the company. And until they start taking some of the money out as profit. Now, where does Jeff get his money? He gets a paycheck and he sells off shares of stocks and he borrows against his stock value. But he doesn't take profit from Amazon. He hasn't taken $1 in profit from Amazon, meaning at the end of the year, there's profit left in the business, operating cash, whatever you want to call it. He has not taken $1 of profit. He has sold stock. So as the value of the stock goes up, he has gotten more money for what he owns. but he has not taken anything out of the business as profit. That's why he hasn't paid a dividend. If he would have taken $1, he would then have to pay some kind of dividend, because the only way for him to get money out is in that kind of company is a dividend per share. Take Walmart, for example, whose value is a third less than Amazon's. They paid out over $2 a share in total in 2019 in dividends. They're bringing in money that they don't need to grow the business, so they share the profit with all the owners, the people that own the stock. That's where I'm at in my business. I don't need money to continue to grow the business. I can start to take some of the dividends. Now, I am the only stockholder, so I get all the dividends. But there's a progression in business from where you have to make sales and make money every single day to where you don't need to do that as much, where you can start to take back some of the money you invested, where you can start to take some of the profit for your enjoyment. And that's where I'm at in life. So sometimes for me, it's very hard to get motivated to do something that causes growth. I like the status quo because now I'm at a point where I know that it's going to keep running and the check's coming in. Once a month, I get a dividends check. In the world of the IRS, it's called an owner's draw. They put it in as an owner's, my accountant puts it in as an owner's draw, but it really is a dividend check. It's not something I earned. It is a return on my investment into this business. I do get a salary, a weekly salary. In fact, you might have heard my phone ding a little bit ago. It's because my check went into the bank, my paycheck. So that was the first meeting. I built a relationship with a guy that long term is going to be very profitable for both of us. Are there people better than me? Sure. Maybe not for this particular niche, because I have life experience to the use of the product, and I have the ability to create sales on e-commerce. So this is a really good fit for the owner who never sells to retail, to the end user, and myself, because I have practically used every one of his products. There's a few that I haven't used, but I know what they are and why they're used in the industry. So that's been very, very good for me. Did it happen overnight? Not really. I was actually selling one of his products on the wrong listing, and I just placed a large order with him, like $11,000, $12,000 worth of product. I forget the exact amount. And he called me personally and said, listen, you're not selling the right product on the right listing on Amazon. I thought I was. It turns out I wasn't. He had two products that were exactly the same with no UPC code, because it's sold business to business. There was no UPC code on the package. Nobody ever required one. You can't go in a store. It's never sold by scanning it across the conveyor belt at Walmart type product. I didn't know that he had two products that looked exactly the same. The only difference was the thickness of the paper that was used on the product. Excuse me. So I said, so what do we do? And we got talking, and he said he would buy it all back as punishment. It wasn't really punishment. I It was a mistake. I would pay return shipping. Um, he refunded the whole order, so he shipped it. He paid for the shipping to me. The only thing that I had that I took a loss on was the return shipping. It was about $500, $500 or $600 in return shipping cost. But then we got talking, and I said to him, how about if I could come to your office and we sit down face to face and discuss more of this? And he said, yeah, that sounds great. I said, I'll be there tomorrow. It did end up taking me 2 days to get there, but I did get there. We met face to face. We went out to dinner. I spent 2.5 days in his factory, walking through the factory to see how everything was done. We had a great time from that day. And we have really worked hard at building the relationship on both sides. He invested $10,000 into his software to accommodate my Excel sheet for dropship orders. I have spent thousands of dollars redesigning my systems so that they work with his software. And I never asked him for a dime, and he never asked me for a dime. It was just something we did to make doing business a lot easier. Relationships are very important in this business. And with this pandemic, man, you got to jump on these calls, these Zoom calls. There's a lot of places out there that you can network now with other people like-minded. Guys, you have to be like-minded to really do business together. Not to be political, but I'm not gonna be involved in something I don't believe in. That's just how I am. It has worked for me for many years that I surround myself with people that understand who I am and are like-minded. It works much better. All three owners of the companies I buy from are men of faith. One is Jewish and two are Christian based. But the faith base, what they practice isn't really as important as they are men of faith. There's an understanding among everybody. I teased the Jewish owner. I think it is September or October. There's a lot of holidays. And I used to tease him about it. Now he teases me about it. He says, hey, are you turning Jewish this month? We got all those holidays. Because he closes his business on those holidays. And it's good. I don't have a problem with that. So that was the first meeting. Relationships are very important. And how you build them are very important, which leads me to my second meeting yesterday. I had a meeting with a Zoom call, a free Zoom call. It was, you know how lawyers are with the first meeting's free. They just bill you on the second meeting. I had a meeting with an attorney for my trademark. If you go through Amazon and use a lawyer that they recommend, I should have my brand registry ready in 2 weeks or less for my new brand. So this guy comes on, he's late with his Zoom call, and he's working from home. So he's got a Corvette hat on, and it's the end of his workday, and he really don't look like a lawyer. He's no shirt and tie, T-shirt, Corvette shirt. And I'm like, I already don't like you. And he kind of laughs and he says, why? Do you drive a Mustang? I'm like, no, but I just got to give you a shot. So I ruffled his feathers a little bit, but he took it well, and we got along really good. Well, this call was supposed to be 15 minutes. It lasted 30 minutes. And I learned a lot about trademarks, which I didn't know and I didn't really understand. And I'm glad I got to meet this gentleman. I am gonna use him for my trademark. There's a couple little things that him and I have to work out. Um, One of them is which email address I have to use because he has to do my brand registry with Amazon. Um, which is okay. It's just part of the how it works. I have to give him user permission, and he handles it all, and it's fine. It is through Amazon. It is a fast track trademark. Um, so it cost me a lot more than a normal trademark. A normal trademark, I think, is $300. This is going to cost me close to 900. One of the first things we talked about was what kind of trademark I wanted. Hell, all I knew was I needed a trademark. But basically, there's two kinds of trademarks, and I didn't know this. There's a word mark, WORD mark, where it's about the characters in the name. I'll use Readers for Less because that was an old one. Readers, READERS, the number 4, LESS, would have been a word mark for if I applied for the trademark on that brand. Okay. That would have been my trademark, my registration mark, is what it would have been. The other type of trademark is called a design mark. It's used for designs and logos. Now, the thing with trademarks are you can't be too descriptive in the name of your company. You cannot trademark the word best coffee. It's too descriptive. You could apply for a design mark for a logo for a company called Best Coffee. Now, how do you get the word mark for the name Best Coffee in a workaround? And this is the government now, guys, so it takes time. This doesn't happen overnight. So what I'm finding out is the design mark is much easier to get a trademark for because it's the design. It's very unique, and you sign something that says that you're the original artist or you own all rights to the artwork, and it's released by so-and-so who designed the original artwork, blah, 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 blah. And it's all these legal stuff that you got to go through for a design mark. Now, once I secure the design mark, we can turn around and file for a word mark, okay, or trademark as most people refer to it as. Because I already, and when you file, the lawyer will mention in the paperwork somewhere that I already have the design mark to that word mark. Meaning my design mark matches in letters used the trademark that I'm seeking in a word mark. Best Coffee wouldn't be able to do a design mark and then instantly ask for a word mark. But what happens is after 5 years, if it's uncontested and nobody applies for it, it's almost an automatic. There's some kind of ruling that you automatically get the word mark. So Best Coffee has a design mark. In 5 years' time, they can get the word mark for Best Coffee, even though it's very descriptive. A little confusing, but And he'd explained it to me a lot better than I'm doing right now. But it gives you an idea that maybe if you're in a position that you really need a trademark, and I'm looking to get two of them, maybe you need to sit down and have a 15-minute free call. They'll bill you in the next term, in the next at the next meeting, um, with a lawyer. Try and find yourself a trademark lawyer. The advantages of using this particular lawyer is I'm going to have my brand on Amazon in 2 weeks. The normal time it takes for a trademark is about 1 year right now. 1 year to 15 months it takes to get a trademark back to you that you can use through brand registry on Amazon. It's a little bit of inside information. It's called IP Accelerate. I found it through Google. I believe anybody with a seller's account can apply for it. Not going to swear to it. I will not swear to that, guys, but I believe anybody can apply for it. It's a little pricey. It's almost 3 times the normal price. But if you're looking to put your brand up in the next 30 days, it may be the way to go. I know I'm going to be able to launch my brand within 30 days by paying this gentleman to do all the legal work for me. Now, he sent me a form to fill out. I sent it back. He sent it back to me. It may take a few days to get it, all the forms filled out just the way he wants. But then once they're filled out, he handles everything else for me. So for me, it's worth the money to do that. I know that, when I look back at my life and I go, well, 13 years ago, I wouldn't have had money for the trademark. I wouldn't have had money to talk to a lawyer. I wouldn't have the time or energy to focus on building a relationship. The only thing I really had time for was the work. I had to buy and sell product. I needed to buy a lot of product and I needed to sell a lot of product because there wasn't profit that I could put back into the business. I was taking the profit out from day one because that's what I used to eat, was the profit I made from the sales of product. That's how I fed myself. Didn't provide a roof over my head. I was homeless, so I didn't have to worry about paying rent most of the time. It's how I got started. So these companies that are able to roll the profit back in and grow at these unbelievable rates that you see, some of these guys on Amazon that start with 10 grand and they just keep rolling all their profit back in, and they hit all the right avenues. Laura, I'm really not sure. Hold on, let me see if I can find it for you. She's asking me, do I have his name? His name's Michael. Let me see if I can find his law firm. I want to say it's Dewey, Scrum and Howe, but I'm sure he wouldn't find that funny. Lawyer. Where are you, Mr. Legal? I'm sure you have a big frickin' 2-page thing at the end of your Peretz here. I'll put the name of it in the. I'll put the name of the lawyer I'm using in chat. That's who I'm using. He was good for me. We're coming up on the close, but listen, guys, it really building relationships in this business will really help you. In the beginning, I had to do what I had to do to eat. As you get further along in business, being concerned about eating is not as big of a priority because you have covered that need. Um, for me, it's been complicated to get to this point because I was taking so much profit, I didn't have money to put back in the grow. So now that we're at the witching hour, I'm going to close this out and we'll be back again tomorrow. I don't know what we're going to talk about tomorrow. It's Saturday. Maybe we'll have a lazy Saturday or something. I doubt it. You know me, I'm never lazy. God loves you. I'm trying. And remember, get off your ass and subscribe. And thank you for watching this video. I'm out, guys.